It started like any ordinary move-in story. A young woman searching for a fresh start, a quiet apartment, and a new beginning. The kind of place where nothing bad was supposed to happen. But inside apartment 3B, behind the walls and beneath the silence, there was something waiting. Something that had been recorded, hidden, and almost forgotten. In early 2018, Emma Clark, a 27-year-old medical assistant from Portland, Oregon, signed the lease for a small one-bedroom apartment in a faded 3-story building just outside the city. The paint peeled, the carpet smelled like dust and rain, and the hallway light flickered just enough to make her uneasy. But for $700 a month, it was a bargain. Her landlord, Mr. Higgins, was an older man with a tired smile and a permanent coffee stain on his shirt pocket. He handed her the keys, said, "The last tenant left in a hurry," and then mumbled something about bad plumbing before disappearing down the stairs. Emma thought nothing of it. Moving boxes filled the living room. Life felt ready to restart. For the first 3 nights, apartment 3B was quiet. Too quiet. On the 4th night, just past midnight, Emma was jolted awake by a strange clicking sound. Soft, rhythmic, coming from the wall right behind her bed. It stopped, then started again. 3 clicks, a pause, then 2 more. At first, she blamed the old pipes or maybe mice, but curiosity got the better of her. She moved the bed away from the wall, ran her hand along the peeling wallpaper, and found a small, uneven patch near the baseboard. The drywall was loose. Behind it was a shoebox wrapped in a towel, covered in dust. Inside were 6 old cassette tapes, each labeled with dates from 2017. No names, just dates. Emma frowned. Who even used cassette tapes anymore? Still, something about them felt important. The next morning, she bought an old tape recorder from a thrift shop, set it on the kitchen table, and pressed play. Static crackled. Then a woman's voice emerged, soft, shaky, and scared. "Is greater than, if someone finds this, please don't let them say, I left. I didn't leave." The voice belonged to Sarah Mills, the apartment's previous tenant. Emma froze. Each tape, she realized, was an audio diary. Sarah spoke about her life, her new job, her loneliness, her struggles to adjust. But soon, her tone began to shift. She mentioned a neighbor upstairs, a man named David. At first, he seemed kind. He'd bring her coffee, carry her groceries. But over time, he became unpredictable. She described the knocking, always 3 times, always late at night. Sometimes she'd hear him breathing outside her door. "He knows when I'm home," she whispered on one recording. The 4th tape was darker. Sarah's voice trembled as she described waking up to footsteps outside her bedroom, the sound of someone jiggling the lock. In the background, faintly, a man's voice could be heard saying, "You shouldn't have told anyone." Then the sound of a struggle and silence. By the 6th tape, the final one, the recording quality was distorted. There were sobs, a door creaking, a muffled scream, and what sounded like a body hitting the floor. Then, nothing. The tape ended abruptly. Emma sat motionless for nearly 10 minutes, her heart pounding. Every sound in her apartment, the hum of the refrigerator, the creak of the floor now felt menacing. The next morning, she contacted the Portland Police Department. Detective Laura Monroe took the case. At first, she suspected a hoax, maybe an old art project or performance recording. But when she ran the name Sarah Mills through local records, she found something chilling. Sarah had vanished in April 2017. No missing persons report, no family contact, no job resignation. She'd simply disappeared. Detectives obtained building records. The upstairs tenant during that time was David Heller, a construction worker with a history of harassment complaints. He'd moved out just months after Sarah vanished. When police searched apartment 3B, they discovered a loose floorboard under the bedroom carpet. Inside was duct tape residue, strands of long brown hair, and faint traces of blood, all matching Sarah's DNA. The tapes were no hoax. They were her last words. Detectives tracked Heller down in Idaho, where he was living under a new name. He denied everything, said he'd barely known Sarah. But when investigators searched his home, they found several blank cassette tapes, same brand and model, as Sarah's, one of them labeled "Next Door" in pencil. When confronted, Heller's only response was, "She shouldn't have recorded me." He was arrested on suspicion of murder. But with no body, the case hinged entirely on Sarah's recordings. Forensic experts analyzed the background sounds, the hum of the fridge, the creaks of the pipes, even the faint buzz of a hallway light, and matched them precisely to the layout and acoustics of apartment 3B. Every sound confirmed that what happened on those tapes had occurred there. Just as the case seemed ready for trial, a chilling discovery changed everything. One forensic analyst noticed something odd about the final tape. Its timestamp stretched nearly 2 weeks beyond Sarah's disappearance. That meant someone had recorded over part of it. And when the noise was filtered and enhanced, another voice surfaced beneath the static. Older, rougher, is greater than "she shouldn't have fought back," the voice said. Voice analysis confirmed it wasn't David. It was Mr. Higgins, the landlord. When police questioned him, Higgins claimed he'd found the tapes while cleaning the apartment and hid them to avoid scaring off tenants. But detectives found his fingerprints not only on the tapes, but inside the wall cavity where they'd been hidden. Under pressure, Higgins finally confessed. He admitted he had gone into Sarah's apartment after hearing a struggle, found her hurt and panicking, and when she threatened to call the police, he snapped. He covered it up to protect his business. He patched the wall, buried Sarah's body in a wooded area on the edge of town, and rented the apartment again, hoping it would all fade away. It didn't. David Heller was convicted of aggravated assault. Higgins was charged with second-degree murder after forensic experts confirmed his voice on the final recording. Months later, police located Sarah's remains, exactly where the faint sound of crickets on the tape had led them. Apartment 3B has been vacant ever since. The blinds stay shut. The mailbox still bears Sarah's name. And late at night, tenants in nearby units say they sometimes hear faint clicking from the walls, like an old tape rewinding itself, over and over. Maybe it's just the pipes. Or maybe it's the sound of Sarah's truth replaying proof that even in death, her voice refused to be silenced. Is greater than, "If someone finds this," she once whispered, "don't let them say I left. I didn't leave."